I so badly want to say I told you so, but it's like, bro, I don't want to, because when I made this video right here, I literally titled it The Unwanted Future of Blue Lock Rivals. I did not want any of this to actually happen. I just thought, like, you know what, I'll make a prediction of the future. And then deep down, I just knew eventually we would get to this point. It took this nigga Miro 3 updates for him to prove my prediction correct. And as of right now, I have never seen the Blue Lock Rivals community more split than this. Anyways, let's talk about it.
Hi, welcome to Burger King. Where you roll? What can I get for you?
Hey, do you guys have the Kaiser Impact Magnus Burger?
I'm so sorry. Is it okay if you repeat that?
Yeah, the Kaiser Impact Magnus Burger.
What is that?
Oh, I saw it somewhere. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I just didn't know what you were talking about.
What about the Borrow Devour Fries?
What was that?
The Borrow Devour Fries?
I've been gone for around 3 weeks, and I've noticed the entire community has been split into 2 major groups. One side being Mero supporters who will defend him no matter what, in their eyes he can do no wrong, and the second side being Mero dislikers, who will beg for Crollo's return each and every update, despite Crollo's flaws in balancing and empty promises. If we take a look back at recent updates, we can see how the community split into these 2 major groups. Starting with the King rework update, this update was both good and bad, but you'll get different reasons as to why, depending on who you ask. So I'll try my best to list all the pros and cons. Let's start with the good though. The King rework update was the first update we got in a while where the style wasn't insanely brain dead, and that was a breath of fresh air. It felt like the game was moving in a direction where old styles were being revisited and reworked to compete with higher rarity styles. Blue Lock Rivals has many issues, and one of those issues is a lack of diversity. Notice how there are 21 styles in the game, but you only see 7, that being Kaiser, Eigiri, Don Lorenzo, Sai, Rin, Kunigami, and Shido. You can't blame the player base for using those 7 styles out of 21 because all of them are somewhat brain dead. What's the point of using a style that lets you speed around the fields when you can use another style and with the click of a button, send the ball halfway across the fields? With more styles being added, a lot of the older styles won't be able to keep up and slowly become outdated. Now, I need you to be honest with me just for a second. When was the last time you seen somebody use this animation? I'm going to be so honest, the last time I seen somebody use that animation was 2 months ago. And it's like, it should be obvious because who would use Hiyori over Corona? The King rework update took a style that people somewhat used back then, buffed it, and now I pretty much see at least 2 to 3 people use King per server, and I think that's great. But not everything is sweet, so let's talk about the negatives for the update. When it comes to Crollo and Miro, both of them have one thing in common, and that is they have mastered the art of deception. Every single time before we get a new style, we have a cool trailer showing that style off, and then in game, the actual moveset will be either a hit or a miss. My examples being both the side trailer and the King trailer, both of which look really cool there, but in game we actually know what they look like.
What the hell? Oh my God!
Let me show you what an awakening should actually look like though. Nah, that was peak. That was peak, bro. But anyways, it seems like Miro took in all that feedback from the chopped King animation, because the next update right after, I was honestly surprised in a good way. Which brings us to the Eigiri update. Now, just like the King update, this update had mixed opinions from the community. However, this time we're going to cover the negative part first, and then we'll talk about the positives and how Miro actually improved. I'll let the community Discord talk about some of the issues they had regarding the update.
Bro said that these owners are good when literally first 10 minutes of the Eigiri update, there was a roll glitch. Eigiri had no moveset. Pretty much everything was glitched and just over trying to add one flippin' character. By everything glitched, I mean that all awakening cutscenes no longer make the players freeze and shit.
Okay, this is just rage bait. You cannot really be saying that Eigiri beats the Don Lorenzo update. The Eigiri update was too broken for that to be the case. I get he is your boss, but are you really getting paid that much?
The problem with the Eigiri update isn't the animations. It's the fact his awakening breaks people's cameras and makes them unable to move. How can people just glance over these game-breaking bugs just to talk about animation LOL? Animation comes after the bugs.
When the Eigiri update first went live, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say it was a complete mess. 3 major game-breaking bugs were found within the first 10 minutes of the update being out, starting with the rollback glitch. Every time you would roll your style and then click off, the game would automatically overwrite it and just give you Eigiri no matter what. I'm pretty sure I don't need to explain why this was a huge issue. Just imagine yourself spinning for a world-class style, and then when you go test out the moves, it's just the Eigiri moveset. The second major bug this update was that half the moveset actually worked. When people finally got the style, it read ability 1, ability 2, and then ultimate. The only thing they could do was pop the awakening cutscene, but other than that, the base moveset didn't work at all. I'm not sure how they screwed up that badly to the point they published a style with the half the moveset working, but that's beyond me. And last but not least, the final bug was that every time you used the Eigiri ult, this would break people's POV, forcing them to leave and rejoin. You can already tell this is pretty annoying. It didn't take long for the servers to shut down, and that most, if not all of these bugs were finally fixed. But it still makes you wonder if Blue Lock Rivals actually has any testers. Cause I just sat back and thought to myself, how did all of this happen in the first place? Bugs aside though, Miro greatly improved the animation quality in this update. And for a character I barely see in Blue Lock games cause everybody thinks he's a meme, this was actually done decently well. The only issue I had personally, despite the bugs, was the reuse assets for the base moveset. You can't tell me you're not getting tired of seeing the body block animation. This is the third character I have seen with this animation. At least it has VFX though. Sadly, I can't say the same for Sai. April 10th was the day I knew this next update was not going to be light at all, because a poll was posted in the Discord asking if they should add style skins. And of course, 92,000 people voted yes. The other 18,000 already knew where this was going. The moment you have all been waiting for, let's talk about the Easter Kaiser update. Usually I try to find the good and bad between these recent updates, but in all honesty, there is no positivity, and for good reason. The Easter Kaiser update was 76 steps back in the wrong direction. I understand that Dubek Studios doesn't own Blue Lock Rivals, but when you take a deeper look into this update, it just looks like he said, oh yeah, I got this. When I saw that Easter Kaiser was going to be limited to 25,000 people, I already got vibes from Fish and how they do their skin system. And then after that, it was mixed in with quests like this was Blade Ball. It's like he combined those two concepts from those games and just slapped on the word update, and boom, Easter Kaiser was born. And before you say Krollo did events like these in the past, I'm fully aware he has, but what he didn't do is cap the cosmetic behind a number. Blue Lock Rivals gets around 200,000 players daily, so it makes no sense as to why the number was capped to only 25,000. Not only that, but it just pushes players to spend Robux so that they can get the skin quickly as possible before it sells out. And if you want the skin for free, you need to score at least 10 goals for one free spin, and then you have a chance of getting Easter Kaiser at a 0.0005% chance. It doesn't take a genius to realize that this update wants you to stay on the game for as long as possible so that they can farm you for premium payouts. And the crazy part is, right before the update was released, it was planned that if you didn't have the Kaiser style but was able to get the skin, you would unlock both the skin and the style with the free extra slot, which is insane to me because that just pushes players to gamble for that style and skin. But this was taken out because this was just pushing a narrative that the update was pay to win, or at least we thought it was taken out, because it turns out even if you didn't have Kaiser but got the skin, you would unlock the style regardless, which is interesting because in the announcements they said this was fixed. I understand that the Easter Kaiser update was supposed to be a filler update, but the way they went about it honestly made no sense. And with the current state of the game right now, when you have so many bugs and issues to fix, the focus shouldn't be adding more microtransactions. Of course, you'll have your usual content creators who will glaze anything though. Easter Kaiser skin is fire. Yeah, I'm sure it's fire, buddy. Anyways, that's enough of my yapping. What do you guys think though? In all honesty, if they can just pull through for the next update, I'm pretty sure everybody will probably forget the last one. Don't be surprised if you start seeing Azure Latch videos, cause I don't know where Blue Lock Rivals is going, bro. The direction is kind of crazy right now. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.